Thank you very much. You may be seated. We'll start the meeting. I'll ask the recorder treasurer to call the roll.
Barnes, Hastings,
Here.
Lynch, Pistol,
Here.
Ward,
Here.
Williams.
Here.
Brings us to the approval of the agenda. I'll entertain a motion second to approve it as presented.
I'll make a motion. I'll second it.
Any discussion? I'll ask for a vote.
Hastings,
Yes.
Pistol,
Yes.
Ward,
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Brings us to the approval of the minutes for the May 9th meeting and the monthly financials. I'll entertain a motion second to approve those as presented.
I'll make a motion. Second.
Any discussion? I'll ask for a vote.
Hastings,
Yes.
Pistol,
Yes.
Ward,
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Brings us down to department head reports. First is Airport Commission. The meeting, what was it, yesterday, Monday? Discussed, we have Joey Wallace was here. 80/20 grant is completed. We got our money back on it. I think it was for the completion of the additions to the hangar, the original hangar. We got back $67,814. We originally had spent $84,000, so that was right at $17,000 difference. I think Dawson Aircraft has paid the rest of that, and we still haven't got with Chad and working out our lease agreement. We talked about consolidating them. The other thing we discussed was the CARES Act money. We got $32,000 of that from the Fed. It's 100%. It's just money, helps us. It'll go into the account for Pay Susan cleaning. They also discussed the cleaning of the building. The people we had at Marshall said they weren't going to do it anymore. They put out bids and called people. They ended up using a local girl, Weary, Alina Weary. I think that's Wade's daughter.
Wade's wife.
Yeah, she had cleaned it before. She's going to clean it twice a month. I think it's $85 per cleaning. That basic $170 a month. I think the old one was maybe $130 a month. I'm not sure. There was a professional elite floor services, a little more extensive, quite a bit more money, at least $100 a month more. They opted not to do that. That's about what we had. Also talked about, that's basically what we talked about. So, any questions on any of that or anything at the airport? Okay, thanks. It brings us to animal control. Rita Tharp, you can give your report, and I have on the information I might discuss at the next meeting, migrating to start looking at going to a 501c3 if that's possible. We'll wait till Chad Brown gets back, but you can do your report and then hit some high spots on that.
Okay. We currently have 24 dogs, and that includes puppies, 7 cats and 4 kittens. We've adopted out 4 dogs and 5 cats. We had a donation of $7,500. We've had lots of Walmart donations, Tractor Supply, food donations. We got 1 new volunteer that's been coming. Have 1 community service person at this time. We've had several over the last 3 months. We've reached out to, of course, Best Friends Rescue Partners to try to partner with them, which is part of the 501c3 thing. Because you pretty much have to be a 501c3 for the help from.
I want to interject on your report, and then we went out there the other day, and Dewey had looked at it, and Sammy and Jeff and myself. Rita had talked to me earlier in the year about maybe making that a 501c3, what all that involves. I talked to the city attorney about that. He seems to be in favor of that. And what I told the council, and I'll tell everybody else here, obviously animal control for Clinton is working. I think they've done a great job. It's not breaking the bank. That was a big concern. You know, when you go to municipal league, they say stay out of animal control. Don't even touch it. Well, that's really not an option. It's like, you know, at some point you have to deal with problems. That's what you get elected for. And y'all are really good about that, about attacking the problem. Place is very, very, very clean. It's done a great job. This 501c3, what that would do is it would take it, it would turn it, the advantages of that, I think it'll help us as a city of Clinton long term. It'll take the city council out of that problems with, that's why they say stay away from animal control. You'll never make anybody happy. It'll break you. All these laws. The way we were doing it is working, but we have 4 part-time workers, work 19 hours a week. Well, at some point, nothing else, you could live the rest of your life and volunteer and work that hard. At some point, you get tired. And so in reality, just because you have people that are animal lovers and work hard, you may not always have that. So personnel, I think, will be an issue, and I think a 501c3 will address that long-term problem. I think it'll offer a larger scope for animal control for the county. I think right now the city's got a handle on the city, but most of our dogs now are coming from out in the county to the city at drop-off spots, which we knew would be a problem, and it is. And they're spots that you notice, Goods Cash Shavers, Post Office, Walmart, Pettit Jean, etc.
Hospital, nursing home.
Yeah,
yes.
hospital and nursing home for sure. I think you did mention Best Friends. It'll pair you with a lot of money out there that you can, a lot of these grants, you have to be a 501c3 to get it. Now the disadvantages of that, right now you have to be a no-kill facility. Well, when you say we're a no-kill facility, you're opening yourself up to take 300 dogs. Well, that's not necessarily the case. You can always have a limit on what you can take. Also, you can put dogs down if they're injured or they're just uncontrollable. So a lot of people tell you things that, and I'm one of them that don't know a lot about it. I'll let Rita add to it, but I'm just kind of hitting the high points. Big thing for a 501c3, it connects you with like Best Friends who can move animals and many at a time.
It enables us to help a lot more because they take and we can replace.
Yeah.
Where we wouldn't be able to do that otherwise.
And it's 100% tax write-off for people
Who donate.
that donate. And I've experienced that with a cemetery. If it's 501c3, people really give money. But Rita, Tara, and Josh and the family and all the workers out there have been doing a great job. One of the questions that we had talked about was legal issues, talking with the city attorney. What's involved in that? Is it something that we can, do we sell the building? Do we lease the building? Do we do it? Also, the city can't pay workers for a 501c3, a nonprofit. We just can't say, well, Will and whoever's, Steve and Charles going to work out there, and you love animals, so we're going to pay. You can't pay them. The city can't pay them. So legally, do you look at it, is there a way to use somebody and say, as a service? I don't know. Got to check
A
the
501c3
Municipal.
can charge for service rendered.
Yeah, service renter, if the city can
I
do
looked
that.
at- we
That's a
looked it
legal
up.
question for Chad. I think Sam paraphrased him, said they've done a great job, a bunch out there. It's the best it's been. It's pretty trouble-free and kind of at least deserve to give a shot to look at going to that. So between now and the next meeting, we'll be looking at that. We'll bring that up the next meeting. Just wanted to get that out there. Rita, you can add anything you want, or anybody on the council can ask her any questions, or anybody else.
Can you think of anything I should add?
No, just basically that we think this is gonna be really good. We're really gonna be able to help a lot more animals, widen the scope of the community, like you said, and we just hope that everybody agrees and this is something that we can really give an honest effort to.
There's still that fund that we hadn't even touched, and it's $60,000 in there. So it's not something we're gonna go broke in. Now, y'all need a little startup money, but you've been getting some pretty healthy donations from individuals. So I think that's doable. And if you can piggyback under someone else to get your feet in, because it takes you a while to get
Yes,
incorporated, whatever, get set up.
We'll be umbrellaing under.
Yeah, you'll have to set things in motion, like you have to have a board in place, pick that, and anybody that's on the board, they'll come to you and say, what about, you have a problem with anybody on this board? If the council don't want that, that's fine. It's still your facility. And we can have the 501, and nothing changes for us. We can always say, we're gonna have 15 animals and 15 dogs, 12 cats, whatever. Nothing will change for Clinton. It's at least, in my opinion, worth looking at.
It definitely works.
Any questions or comments from anybody on that? Okay, thank you very much. Gia's in the audience. Hey, I was helping you last Saturday. I was not at the Leslie homecoming, correct? Chief, thank you. Animal control.
You sign my checks.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Rita, and your whole crew. You're doing a great job. Brings us down to Fire Department report, Chief D.L. Webb.
Fire department's running smooth this month. I only had a couple of calls to Leffler Estates, one on Father's Day, but it was okay. A couple of inspections done this month, so if that's all we got, I'm good. Appreciate everybody coming out for the groundbreaking. That's a big deal on the fire department. With that being said, I know we need to move some monies.
Yes. Yeah, I'll turn that over to Dina. I think we're going to move some money to get that started. I think payments from when we start this will be around the end of the month, 25th.
Around the 25th. We're supposed to meet before the 25th of every month, and Josh will submit the bills from them to him. He'll approve it, give it to you to be paid.
All right. Dina?
We're gonna transfer $1 million from the general fund to the fire department special fund for the new fire station. So we need a motion and a second to do that. So that I don't have to ask every time we pay a bill.
Yeah. We're just moving a big chunk of money. A motion to approve that? Sean?
Second.
Any discussion? I'll ask for a vote on that.
Hastings.
Yes.
Bissell.
Yes.
Ward.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Thank you. One other thing I'd like to do is move some monies out of Act 833, $4,500 out of that account to purchase this Tango app that me and Chief Murdoch have been working on. We've had our free month for the last 3 months. But between him, the police department, and myself splitting that, I put up $4,500. He put up $4,500. That gives us 3 years. It's buy two, get third free. So this will give us 3 years of using that app. The app works very well for the limited use that we've used it, for the people I've put on it. But you can have so many side channels on this for an emergency situation, and I think that would benefit everybody. The city, water department, everybody.
That's what you were discussing at the OEM?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, that seems to be popular. Somebody help me with the wording on that. You're requesting to move $4,500 from.
Well, we don't have a line item in the Act 833, so can I just move $4,500 into a line item, or
I
move
can
it?
just put it under miscellaneous.
Just under miscellaneous.
4,500 out of that, and then wherever Jay wants his 45.
Okay.
Is that how y'all are doing it? Split?
Yeah, mine will be like 45 out of special equipment to computer hardware software.
I can do that.
Okay.
So I'll just pay 4,500 out of the Act 833, and then 4,500 out of special equipment for police.
Yeah, that's perfect.
We need to do,
Entertain a motion for that?
they need to be separated or together?
Got a motion, second, discussion, go ahead.
Most,
We got it.
We made the motion second, now you can discuss.
For the fire
Who made the motion?
I did.
Yeah, I mean, we're tying this all together because we're gonna get it together.
but we'll do one for the fire department, and then we'll do one for the police. Right? What, basically?
No, we just did them both.
No, they're gonna be together.
Okay.
And so yeah, it's taking care, one-stop shopping.
You're doing one bill.
They'll send us one bill, we can split up police department
Yeah,
and.
okay.
Unless, and he did say if that you needed separate bills, like to pay out of police and fire.
I can
Okay.
do it like that, yeah.
Dina worded the motion, be a lot cleaner than if I did it, a lot cleaner, so thank you. Any other discussion on that? I'll ask for a vote.
Hastings.
Yes.
Pistol.
Yes.
Ward.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Other than that, if there's any questions, I'd be glad to try to answer them for you.
Anything else for the chief? Thank you. Yeah, good job out there. The groundbreaking. It's a year out. That's good thing. Brings us down to Parks Department report. Charles Wilson.
Everything's going pretty good. Michael's been doing a heck of a job. Keeping it cleaned up. It looks nice.
Yep.
We got Archie Fest coming up, so we're going to kind of plug in around. Get it. Don't want to get too quick on it because it'll grow overnight.
Yeah.
So we're kind of going to ease into that next week. We'll start easing into that and getting a little bit more downtown cleaned up.
I'll send you a video of the trouble spots the day before.
That sounds
Need
awesome.
them no. Yeah, I have the TAP grant number 2. All is going forward on that. Trey Foster used to work for the highway department for years and years and years. Very familiar with easements and everything connected to the highway department. Now working for he agreed to take that on. He's going to, Glenda Stagg, and he's going to be here Wednesday the 26th, I think. He says, we're just going to re-up that. I'm going to ask for a motion in a second for that. He said, we took the bridge out of it. I think we can do that in-house a lot cheaper than what was bid on that, which will save us a lot of money on the matching. And it's, Trey said, I don't see us going over $30,000. That's sidewalks from where they stop at the fountain and go all the way up to 65. The sidewalk that goes from the skate park pavilion all the way up to McDonald's and takes a right and connects to that sidewalk by Shane McDonald's property. And the other sidewalk is under the bridge over there by the pond and the pollinator meadow, connecting that up to where the workout place is. I think it'll probably be more than 30, just cost of concrete and everything, but he's done this for a long time. But anyway, I'll entertain a motion in a second just to add this to the minutes. The old resolution we did is fine. I just want to show that it was discussed, and I wanted to get that in the minutes. I just kind of wanted to motion a second from you guys just to reapprove it so we can get that in the minutes. So I entertain a motion second to re-up that grant that we already have in motion from 2022.
So moved.
Second.
Any other discussion? I'll ask for a vote on that.
Hastings,
Yes.
Pistol,
Yes.
Ward,
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
I'll try to have the real cost of that by July, our next meeting on the 11th. And then the 13th will be the Baptist Fun Day at the park. They've rented the park, and I just told them I'd mention that. That's after the next meeting, after Archie Fest and everything. I mentioned Wednesday the 26th, Debbie Webb will be back over here for the Fun Park grant. And we're going to, that's under new business. We're going to read the resolution on that. Junebug Festival, I think it was the second or third one we had downtown. Worked out really good, had some good bands. The Breeze played, Reckless Riders out of Greenbrier, and the lead singer was Dennis Veazey's son. I hadn't seen him since he was at deer camp, and he's 12 years old. Possible, I'd mentioned sometime there may be a family that may want to make a possible donation for some land in Clinton, maybe have a little pocket park and decide what to put on it. So just didn't want to get the cart before the horse, but that looks like that's a possibility. Maybe by next meeting I can mention that. That's all I have under parks, and it brings us down to streets, if you don't.
They're fixing to put in the Welcome to Clinton sign. So I'll have to sit down with Dean and figure out where we're gonna take the money out and how to pay for it. It's $15,930. They should break ground on it next week. We gotta figure out what y'all wanna put on it. If you want it to look like the one in Choctaw, or if you wanna figure out. So y'all can kinda be swinging around on that. It'll take them a couple of weeks to do it. So I tried to get 5 or 6 different people to bid on it. Nobody wanted to mess with it, so he was the only one. So
I think the state gave us quite a bit, and
Yeah, the state covered all of it, but $930.
Y'all's up to y'all on design. I like the place where you can interchange the pictures and you can always put whatever you want on it.
It's gonna be identical to the one at Choctaw, except for it won't have nothing on it. So, I mean, and those signs, the way they're made, they're easy to take off and on. And I mean, we had saved the old signs from the one up north I'd put in the shop. And we went down a few months ago and made that sign new again. So.
They look good. Anna appreciated that, so thank you.
And then we got, we're working on wanting to tear down the old L&E building. So I got a price on, Richard and I talked about building a building there at the shop, but I got a price on adding on to my building. We've already got a slab there. So I got a price on it. It was coming in at $46,600. That's framing it, sheet metal, insulation, pretty much ready to go. We taking a bad price for 20 by 53. It's not bad.
So what's that dimension? 20 by,
20 by 53.
that's pretty big. You're gonna run it a
Let
long
us
ways.
take everything out of that building and Christmas lights and put them in a heated and cooled environment. So, and that makes a big difference.
So you're talking about moving it over by the sewer plant? Where you're
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, we're just gonna add on to my building. We've already got
Cool,
a slab, yeah, we've already got a slab there. Well, it won't necessarily be cool.
Well,
But it'll be heated,
yeah,
which,
yeah.
I mean.
What you got now?
Yeah, we got fans and stuff going in
Yeah.
there, so it actually kind of keeps the
A
humidity.
little more than a lean-to.
Yeah. And I mean, that building's leaking. I'm surprised it's still standing, so it's fixing to go. So we gotta get everything out of it, so we've gotta get this project started so we can get everything out of it. And, I mean, making a parking lot out of it would be great. Somebody mentioned about selling it, but I think we need to leave it as public parking. We're already fighting parking. I'm afraid if we don't leave it as public parking, then somebody will have control over it, and that kind of defeats the whole purpose of getting extra parking in there.
As long as the city owns it, they can dictate what it goes. Now, what about the little building to put the mower in? Is
Well, and that's something we kind of talked to the neighbor there at the park, Johnson,
oh, yeah.
and if he'll give us that strip, then we can get over in that corner and put up a building
Okay.
and keep it off of that, and that way we can put up a black iron fence like they did at that new restaurant, and then you can see when you pull up. I mean, right
Yeah.
now with that wooden fence, you
No,
can't see.
we had that wooden fence
Yeah.
to block the junk.
Yeah, so when we get a sidewalk there, and then maybe turn it back and have a handicap, so when you do park there, you can handicap right into the court square or wherever you want to go.
Would, any of these park grants or whatever, you know, would it be able to build a new bathroom and then put the backside of it where we could put it in?
We might could check into it. And it might be such a thing as adding on to the one we got. I have to go down there and see if there's enough room, but it would actually be more secure to have a block building. And I mean, that's my only issue is over there.
Kind of out
Is it going to be vandalized? Or, of course, I mean, there's nothing really in it, but just a mower. I mean, we can haul weed eaters, but it's a pill hauling a lawnmower on a trailer every time we go to mow and do something. It's really nice to
I don't
have.
know, I just, you know,
Yeah,
those bathrooms over there are
yeah, they need rebuilt. We've
an
tried to
update.
rebuild them a few times, but we'll have to check into some grants and see. So,
Do you need any action on any of that?
well, I've got to get with Dina and sit down and figure out. I think I can pay for that, add on to that building out of the street department fund. I think
Well, that takes care of the Christmas light with the L&E, because the L&E definitely coming down. And you're getting people to look at taking that down, or that won't take very long, I don't think.
Oh, yeah, tearing that building down it'll take me longer to get this up and get everything out of it.
Yeah.
I mean, we got a lot of stuff in there. We've got a lot of high dollar lots and stuff in there, so, I mean, There's some
Yeah,
important
you know, it won't be long to start testing them.
stuff. Yeah,
And you look for volunteers for that.
yeah.
Good ones.
And this will give us room in there too, so
We got room in my basement. We can probably bring them over there.
that'll give us, so, I mean, it'll actually unclutter. I mean, I've been trying to keep everything we got in the dry and it's tough.
Well, then you have to work on that. Bill, I don't know if we need action on that or not. Just find a way that suits
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, I'll have to
But we
sit down.
definitely need to
Dina
keep it
and I
lower on
talked-
this side of the creek.
Dina and I talked about it once before, but I never did get back in there and sit down and fully discuss where and when and how, but, so, I guess, need permission to get started. We've already got started on one, on the sign. Cause I think general fund should have the money from the state highway. I think they gave us around 10 or 15,000. So we should be able to pay for that out of general, I don't know.
I think it was 15.
That old building's been leaking forever, hasn't it?
That building is bad, it's moldy and it's an eyesore.
So you need us to make a motion to move money or something?
Well, we need to
You need to know.
if I can get started on that building project, 20 by 53.
Do we need to have multiple bids, or is it good for one bid, or whatever?
I can try to get some more, it
I
should
mean,
be.
don't want somebody to say,
Everybody's busy, I've called everybody.
Is Chad on the phone?
Chad,
Do we have to have more than one bid?
Yep.
do we need to have more than one bid on a building project, a small project?
Well, this is for it's under 50,000.
Yeah,
Dana, aren't we limited by 50,000? Isn't that where we are right now?
yeah.
I think we updated
Like
our
the
order.
mayor could do whatever, or are you talking about?
Yeah, I think the question is the money appropriated? If the
Yeah.
money's appropriated, I don't know that. I think if it's under a $50,000 project, if we're talking about just that small addition that he's talking about, and he said it was 40-something thousand.
46.
Yeah, I think if it's under 50, I don't think you have to do the bidding. But I'll take a second look and I'll confirm that.
And we'll have a meeting in 2 weeks, I think.
Yeah.
So
I'll know in 2 weeks for sure.
finalize everything in 2
Yeah,
weeks.
I don't have a problem with, you need the room.
Kind of giving you the heads up at what we're doing.
Need to get the stuff out of the L&E building.
Yeah, we've got to get it out of there if we're gonna fix that eyesore. And
Okay, well,
this
Chad,
is-
is that where we're at? Do you need any action on that then, or just,
No, we shouldn't.
No, I mean, I guess it's a funding question.
if it's under 50? Okay. All right.
Just decide. Yeah.
I'll double check with them all again. And, Ozark Construction said he was 9 months out, 10 months out, so.
I'll leave it up to you. I mean,
It's been tough.
You gotta
getting
live in
bids.
it.
I've called everybody.
Get it the way you want. Anything else from Charles? On streets, I have just downtown, the work on Grigg Street. It's Grigg Street. You got rid of those humps by the barber shop there, by the old movie theater. I'm dating myself behind Danny Brown. Those pine tree roots were, it was like a roller coaster there. Y'all popped them out and tamped it and got some cold patch. Businesses are very happy with that. Even got a little parking on the street that got used up the other night with the new H&H. Catherine Swift was grateful for that. So was everybody else. And then I had the 65 North sign and L&E down. I think you addressed that. That's all I've got.
Yeah, we've been it's hit and miss here and there between the mowing. So, I mean, we've been trying to clean up downtown, getting ready for the car show and all that.
Only thing that's kind of is lulled, and we're still waiting on that, the grade on the alleyways and stuff, but we're still waiting to make sure that phone company gets their stuff done and gets that down. But they've had their share of issues, I think.
Yes. So I mean,
There's
there's
still something that I think once they start, it'll go quick.
yeah, we've got a lot of grade shot and a lot of stuff, but
It's that big line in front of Dusty, you
We're
know.
waiting on everybody else to do their
Down Main
move
Street.
first before we can come in and do ours, so. But yeah, we've got several drainage projects. Richard and I shot grade, and we've got some elevations where we can move some water and help everybody downtown, so. But everybody's got to all fall together, so.
So, back on the L&E building a little bit, if you can, I know it's moving stuff twice, but if you need to get that out and start tearing that building down, or are we gonna try to build
Well, I
first?
think the way the guys that's building the Welcome to Clinton sign, since they've done all the work there on the restaurant, done all that, is if they want first bid on it, I mean, like I said, it's hard to get people to bid, but by the time he gets that sign done, and then we get the building done, we should be able to.
That's a
That's my
job
game.
that not everybody's gonna be chomping at the bits for.
Oh, yeah, I know.
It's a track hole in a
I
day.
was sitting there thinking, well, you know, that, like the sea container that we've got, maybe there's room that you could put in it and then move it, you're gonna have to move it twice if you did that.
I mean,
Figure he'd wait.
if push comes to shove,
I didn't know how
we
big,
can
how
pack
bad
it
you wanted that
into my
building
shop.
out.
It's, I mean,
We'll
everything
have
gets
it out
packed
there
in
pretty
there anyway.
soon, testing it.
And that addition will make a big difference on our shop, especially, it's not gonna have any outside access. You're gonna have to be inside the shop to
Cut
access.
through.
I'll put in a couple small roll-up doors, so, and we can get everything that we normally use back here in the back. We can get some lawnmowers in the dry. They ain't sitting out in the winter time, so, I mean, it makes a big difference if you can get the equipment in the dry.
If push comes to shove, we've got that shipping
Yeah, we
container
can
down there.
get-
We get
Yeah.
it, we can put it in there.
Get it out of there if you need to.
It, not really on streets, kinda more on parks. Had a guy call asking about the lights, are the lights? those
We
lights
fixed them
turned on?
once, and then somebody run over one, and then we fixed it again, and somebody with the fire department run over it again.
We'll say that again.
On a different fire
Thank
department.
you.
Not this fire department, it was a,
Can we bill them?
no, but, I mean, then that's a project that we really need to find a grant for, because none of that electric's in conduit. And
I've had somebody ask me that too.
one pole is, the red wire's hot, and 3 poles down, the blue wire's hot, and the blue wire's ground on this one, so you can't hardly get anybody to work on it. I've just nitpicked and figured it out. So it's
Can't you keep up with that?
kind of spooky, but I actually had an electrician get up and walk off,
1970.
then I had to go figure it out myself.
Caught that when I was 12.
So,
Yeah, we just had to find the money to do that.
so, and that's a
Two weeks
long
with
way.
ditch
So, I
witch.
mean, when you get from one end of it to the end of that circuit, you got 60 volts. So it's hard to keep light bulbs. Yeah, it stretches a quarter of a mile of electric line.
There's a company that's approached me a while back, and they reached out again at Municipal League. They want to come up and look at it again. I'll have them come and do a presentation. I won't say the next meeting, but maybe the next. And what they can do, they can assure us that they can get it lit up, and we'll save money paying the electric bill. So I'll put them on the agenda for August.
Switching over to the LEDs.
That's a pretty big job.
Helped us.
Are they LED now?
Yeah, but it's still blowing the LEDs, and it's not really blowing the LEDs. You got 60 volt there, so everything gets hot, and then them little screw-in connectors, the little deal hanger gets hot and bends, and then it doesn't connect no more. 90%.
Worn out. It was patched together, and that's
Yeah.
all they had, and they did a
It's
great
kinda like a
job.
baseball field.
So relaxed.
A little bit of wiring here and there and.
Yeah. I did fix the baseball fields several years ago. I dug in a new line.
I hadn't heard anything about them, but I
He quit
know
shocking people.
back in the past, it was pretty rough.
He quit shocking people. But yeah, I mean, and that's gonna be an expensive project. I got a bid on that once before, and it was like $180,000 to run the new electric on it. But we're gonna have to figure out how to break it up. Right now, you got a quarter mile this way and a quarter mile that way.
I bought a 10-foot stick of conduit today for $30. And I was like,
The conduit on the other side with the concrete walking trail, is it probably, most of it messed up due to
All of
flood?
it, when that flood come in,
Yeah.
wiped a bunch of it out.
Yeah. sounded like a good thing at the time, and it wasn't, didn't break.
And if
the
it hadn't
bank.
flooded, the conduit would already been in for that.
Well, that flooded.
Yeah, that's all.
Anything else for Charles on streets? You can look at that and
Yeah.
bring it to the next meeting.
Yeah, you might actually check into solar lighting.
Thanks. Brings us, we good?
Good.
Brings us to Police Department report, Chief Jay Murdoch.
Like the fire chief said, everything's going good. We're running calls just about on average as we have last month, maybe just a little bit higher. Our accidents are a little bit down, so that's a good thing. The only thing new that I've got to report is we've got our rifles in. We're going to certify them Saturday. The A1 radios we got on a grant we got in a week ago, and they're at Arkansas River Valley Communications getting programmed. And our live scan machine came in yesterday. And I think their engineer is supposed to be in next week to get it set up, get it installed, get it programmed. And I've been told that yes, we can do concealed handgun fingerprints, is what the state police told me. The only thing is we're going to have to call our IT people to come in and drop a couple landlines for internet connectivity. It shouldn't cost more than a couple $100. So right now, all the stuff that we've got on a grant has finally come in. And I think Dean has already started paying some of it out. So we're waiting on the install on the radios, install on the live scan machine, and then we should be good to go, at least for the year. Our other employee, he'll start January 1. He is currently working at 911, and we had taken one already from 911 dispatch. So I told the 911 director, hey, I'm not going to take two at once, so go ahead and work this guy out till January or July. And so he'll start July 1st. But other than that, we're just clicking along. If you have any questions.
With the live scan, the fingerprint machine, did we ever figure out if we was gonna charge for that or something?
We charged before, so I figured we were just going to keep charging. So, like, yeah,
I knew we talked about it, and I couldn't remember if there was a charge or not.
yeah, last time that we did it, when Chief Parrish was still in, when we had that original live scan machine that worked 60% of the time but didn't report to the state, we charged $20, so I was going to keep, I think everybody else charges 20 or 25 or 50.
That's right.
So I'm kind of splitting the difference, hit 20.
I say this is the school, you know, we send people to Arch Ford, and I think it's 50 at Arch Ford. So if
When we get set up, send them to me.
downtown, that'd be even better, sure.
Yeah, and just kind of our policy is going to be, everybody in the department's going to be trained on it, even Miss Terry. So if somebody comes in, we're not going to, unless we get oversaturated with them, we're not going to set certain times or dates that they can come in. As long as we're not busy Monday through Friday when we're open, you need fingerprints, come on and get them.
Anything else for Chief Murdoch? Thank you, Jay. Brings us down to Water and Sewer Department report, Will Hinchy.
Start out with chemical costs. We were at 11 cents per thousand on our chemical costs this month. Water loss was at 18% for the whole system. And like I told my water board, I want to stop right there and not report the rest, but I got to report at all. Burnt Ridge was at 39% water loss, and Denard was at 42. To make me sound just a little bit better, at Burnt Ridge we're looking for an 8 gallon a minute leak to get it down to 0% water loss. So yeah, 39% sounds bad, but an 8 gallon a minute leak will fix that completely. And at Denard, I'm looking for a 19 gallon a minute leak. So those are, Jeff Pistol's had bigger leaks than both of these.
Hugh McKnight's, isn't it Hugh?
Do I?
Hugh McKnight, is that who the pharmacist is?
Yeah.
That's where the leak always is.
He does usually have leaks on the line going to his house, but we've looked there and we haven't been able to find it. We aren't looking for big leaks. So when I report that those two small systems are high water loss, it's a small leak.
That's
or could be
that's
too
good.
small.
Y'all done a good job with that.
But I like the 18% for the whole system. That makes us look a lot better. So
Is the over there on Burnt Ridge Road, was that a water leak where they had to fix that?
no,
No.
not that we could prove. So we did run valves and everything, and we feel pretty comfortable that, now there was an old water pipe, the old original line that never got moved, it just got buried, and it did, when they dug into it, it had a lot of water in it, but it quit running after so long. But there wasn't an old water line in that road, but it had been moved years ago further into the field there. So the next thing we talked about at the meeting, and I really don't know where to go with this, I'll start out with a little history. We had met with B Branch. We had a meeting yesterday, but the previous meeting before, they had made it known that they wanted a board member on our water board. So I didn't get a chance to bring that to the city council before they had another meeting, because we moved ours. And then they met last night, and they actually voted and wanted to appoint someone to be on the board. I took it to my water board tonight before our meeting, and they didn't make a recommendation to bring that and add another position to the board. They didn't want it to be a 6-person board, just keep it at a 5. So I'll bring that up for discussion. We talked about different options, maybe just doing an advisory person and still having a 5-person voting board. I do have one member that's going to be he'll be off the board. His time's up this December. There is a few options, but we do have someone on our water board that lives on B Branch's system, and she's been on there for 3 years. Kristen Fleming, she lives on B Branch's water system. The water board just kind of felt like they already had representation and they didn't need to add a second person. So we'll kind of bring that up on discussion if you guys would like to discuss that. What's your opinion?
Yeah, I agree with them. I mean, we spent a lot of time putting this water commission together, and we dotted every I and crossed every T, and we got it set up. 5 members, and as it is with 5 members, whenever a member goes off, it is very hard to get somebody else on that board to volunteer. So if we have to put another member on the board, we can't just put one, we have to go to 2, because you have to have an odd number of members for votes. You'd have to go to a 7-member board, and I just see it being even harder to get 2 more members on the board, even though B Branch they're going to put one on. I just feel like they're just kind of pushing too hard on that. I think we've got a good member on the board from B Branch. She's a CPA. She's real smart,
and she's good to show up. She'll tell you she won't be there. She won't be there usually April or March, April. She'll try her best, but that's her busy time being a CPA and stuff. But
I've never not seen her there.
Yeah, most of the time she's there, and we know way ahead of time if she's not going to be. So
Is there I know, say Clinton, there's different regions or districts or something per position, or it's just kind of at large?
So when it was originally set up, it was just set up as an appointed board, and it wasn't originally set up. Now we've kind of replaced it that way. We had Danny Newland on there when I first started. He was in the Denard area, so we did replace him with Adam McJunkins to keep someone in that. Right now I've got Matt Stewart. He lives over here kind of in the Burnt Ridge. He lives in Burnt Ridge. Kristen Fleming, she lives in B Branch. Yep. And then we got Adam McJunkins at Denard. Steve Nichols lives in city limits. And before, we didn't have, that was the only city limit person, but Randy Ward's on there now, and he lives in city limits. But you kind of got the 95 West area, you got the Burnt Ridge area. It is kind of spread out. Kristen originally got on there for her CPA, looking at finances.
My opinion is when Kristen's in B Branch or whatever, then we try to just push for somebody in that area again.
Yes, I agree. And I think as long as we promise them there will always be someone from B Branch, and getting into that, I did hand out a little handout, and I've got a cheat sheet on mine. So what you're looking at there is the lawyer that we're using for the acquisition. He had drawn up an original agreement, and we just found, and Chad got to look at it, and we found a few things, 3 items that we wanted him to add or clarify. One of those things was that the lawyer fees and everything would be paid by B Branch. Clinton wouldn't be out any money on taking them in. We got that in there. One was that we would actually get paid in full what B Branch owes us when we take them in. Hey, we added that. Oh man, I should have got a cheat sheet here. I'm trying to think what the other one was. But anyhow, yeah, that's something we've seen this next time. Yeah, so after he made those few recommendations and everything, there was I want you guys to take this and look it over because this is just a first draft document. It has it in here that they've got to supply us with a 2024 audit. Well, they haven't done their 2022 or their 2023 audits. So I'm going to have him specify that we have to have both of them. I've talked to B Branch about it. They talked to the lady that's handling their finances and paying all their bills, and she said the money's not there to do it. So, and they pay $10,000 per year is what they've been paying. They have all the information to them for the 2022, but they haven't received it back, and I think it's because they're waiting for payment. I mean, so I don't know. That one's on there, and then the closing date. As you're looking through there, it has a closing date of it has a line, and then 2024. That's not reachable because in order to actually close, we're going to be paying off some USDA notes. And it will have to be after we get money from ANRC. We won't get any money from ANRC until February at the earliest. So I talked to ANRC and they recommended just putting a no later than date. And she said, give yourself plenty of room that you'll meet it. So she said, as long as we had a no later than date, this agreement looked good to ANRC so far. But look over it. I'll give Dina, and I've got a copy for Chad. I know he's not here. Chad did see the original draft, and he agreed on some of the changes. He has not seen this draft. We just received this yesterday or the day before, so I didn't get the email out.
That one part we looked at earlier, I think you need to look at rewording that because the way it reads, if you sign that agreement, you're going to have to add another person to the deal. So you need to reword that somehow.
Yeah, it's
I don't remember exactly what that. Yeah, in that line about the representation for B Branch, it does say an additional member on the city water commission. It says additional member twice in there in that paragraph, so we could probably have that verified. It does say that we will continue to have representation at B Branch, and that's good. We can put that in there. But if we could just reword it to, B Branch has someone on the board now, from B Branch, and there will always remain to be. But I've got to take this back. When they voted that in, they actually picked the person, voted them in and everything last night. I made it known that I had to take it to the city council because it was a board appointed by the city council. So I will go back to them if that's how it is. And
yeah, they don't get to pick.
Yeah, we'll start over. But we do, I agree, Jeff agreed too, that we do need to always have someone from that area.
We've done a good job of that. Everybody's scattered out, like you say, Randy Ward out towards Scotland, guy in the city limits.
And to be fair about it, we don't have anybody from the Van Buren County water system on our board.
Yeah, and that was brought up too, he said if everybody had, Van Buren County, we just have one customer because I sell it to them as a wholesale, but they still have around 1,400 customers that they sell to, and B Branch would be the same. So if we did add another, I agree with Jeff, they could have someone on the board. But we do have someone in the B Branch area, Kristen Fleming, so. And we can make it known that if she gets off and her term is up December of 25. So when her term's up, if she doesn't re-up, we can appoint someone from that area.
Okay, anything else for Will? Did a good job at Municipal League. He spoke down there and answered a lot of questions and talked about regionalization, and a lot of people from a lot of small towns are grateful that you were there. So happy that I gave his number out to him, so I don't know if you got any calls yet, but did a really good job. Like Jeff said, a lot went into the deal, and your water board and water department's doing a great job. I'm grateful for that. Thank you. Brings us down to zoning department. Tim Clark.
I talked to the contractor for Dollar Tree today. They'll be finished with their part of the building July the 1st. At that time, Dollar Tree will come in. They'll start doing their shelving, registers, start getting their products on the shelves. Said they'll probably try to get opened up by the end of July, so I'll say 1st of August sometime. Birch Tree Communities, I got a lot of calls. They're going to do, I haven't seen any plans. It's going to be a major renovation addition. I just had a lot of contractors call me that are going to put in a bid for it. So they wanted to know about permit fees. And of course, I have to ask each one of them what the value of the job is so I can average in the state surcharge. And the estimates were anywhere from $3 to $3.5 million. So, like I said, I hadn't seen any plans, so I don't know what they're doing, but they're going to do a lot of it. Couple of houses, the one on Gary Street, it's all roughed in. They're hanging insulation tomorrow. House on Edna, it's still not in the dry, so they got a ways to go. Had Safety Com come up yesterday and service all our weather alarms, check everything out. There was a couple of batteries that had to be replaced at the annex. The main issue was the siren down by Grace Church. We've been having problems with it. It appears that when he looked at it, the antenna on the top of the pole is broken. He says probably if we have a good wind, some of those branches that are away from it, but the wind gets to whipping and beats them up. So he's getting me some quotes on antennas. I don't know what the antennas cost, but it always scares me when he says I'm going to get you some quotes. Archie Fest, not this coming weekend, but the next. A&P is going to meet this Thursday night. I think we've pretty much got everything nailed down. If anybody wants to come to our meeting Thursday night, help us make sure that we haven't missed anything, you're more than welcome to come. But I think everything's in place, from carnival to softball tournaments, fishing derbies, car shows. I think we got it pretty much nailed down, but everybody's invited to come to that meeting Thursday night and, put in whatever you'd like to say. As everybody knows, Hogs and Heifers got opened up. It was a success. I think when I sat down with them the other day and I said, I told you it's going to happen. There's going to be a glitch. There's going to be something happen. It always does. It's inevitable. And it did. And right now they don't consider it a good problem. I told them it is a good problem because they're shut down yesterday, today, and tomorrow because they don't have enough freezer space. I mean, you get like two supply trucks a week. But if you can't house enough product until your next truck comes in, you run out of food. So they're taking these 3 days to bring in some big triple door freezers so they can house enough food so they don't run out before their next truck. So it's a problem, but it's a good problem because they're doing a lot of business and they're doing a good job. So that's all I got.
Good food too. Anything else for Tim? Thank you. Before we go into unfinished business, I told Dana under zoning we'd talk about employment. I think the custodial position for City Hall, I think they're contract labor right now, but they use our cleaning supplies, so a matter of bookkeeping, I think we need to make that position as an employee of the city. Yeah. So you can state it how you want it. Just entertain a motion
Just to make our custodial person an employee instead of contract labor because they use their.
Thank y'all, ladies.
Because they use their cleanings.
Second.
Motion for that.
Did you do second?
Yeah, they will do.
Motion second. You gotta help me. Any other discussion?
Part-time position?
Yeah, it's just they clean once a week.
Oh, got it. It's on back.
It may be 3-4 hours if that much.
Will that be on insurance and things
No,
like
none of
that?
that.
Yeah. Is it so kind of a contract labor, but it's not, I guess.
It's not, because they don't bring their own supplies.
It's for audit, it's for the audit.
If you bring your own supplies, yes, they use
We're
their,
giving them, if we're contract labor, we're giving them the stuff to use, can't do that.
yeah, if they bring all their supplies, but no one wants to do that. And plus, you know, some people, we like to have what we have, because if you're allergic
Yeah.
to something or someone else is, you know, then, so we just purchase the stuff.
Kind of like we are.
Yeah, we may want lilac and not rose.
Yes, correct, but they're only doing it once a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else on that? I'll ask for a vote.
Hastings?
Yes.
Pistol?
Yes.
Ward?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Brings us down to unfinished business. There is none. New business or resolution for the Fun Park grant. This is basically to get back on the minutes, reapply for the 100%, $100,000 grant at the park. We were definitely in the running last year. 90% of the towns that got them really deserved it. I think Debbie Webb's coming, like I said, next Wednesday. She likes the way we take care of stuff. Got a very good feeling of this. Her and Glenda Stagg are going to get together. She's going to go look at Archie Fest. I'll read the resolution, and I'll entertain a motion second to approve it. It's a resolution authorizing the mayor to apply for funds to improve the Archie Fork Park. Whereas the city of Clinton, Arkansas recognizes the need to provide public recreation facilities for its local citizens and visitors. And whereas the city wishes to apply for Fun Park grant funds through the Arkansas Department of Parks, Heritage, and Tourism to improve a public park at the following location, Archie Fork Park. Whereas the mayor and the city council understand that if granted funds for the park development, they must provide land by lease or ownership on which to develop or upgrade the park facilities. And whereas the city of Clinton, Arkansas will sign a contract agreeing to provide the necessary resources to maintain the park and facilities for a period of 25 years. Now therefore be it resolved that the city council of the city of Clinton, Arkansas hereby authorizes the mayor to submit an application for grant funding to the Arkansas Department of Parks, Heritage, and Tourism to improve the Archie Fork Park. I'll entertain a motion second to pass this resolution.
Second.
Any other discussion?
So what exactly are we gonna do?
Well, the three ball fields that we paid for it, just ourselves, the city, over those bleachers. Put that awning, we built them in a way that looks backwards. Just build a big pavilion over the top of that. And if Debbie Webb thinks that it can come in under that, we can add whatever we want to improve that softball facility down there. Basically, it keeps the sun off and the rain off everybody. Plus, it gives us another place, an awning, a pavilion to rent out or that. But $100,000, it'll go a long way into making some. It'll also match the dock. I think that was Jason Lynch's point, and it's a pretty good idea.
It's a better safety issue too, that some
Safety
ball or something.
and keeps you out of the weather, rain and sun.
I think we did this sometime back, but I don't remember exactly whatever, but like you go to, I don't know, say Russellville, and you go through their trail or whatever, they have all these little, you can pull up bar here and then you go a little farther and you do this or something. Didn't we have that back? We never had that years back for some kind of deal? Okay. I was thinking that we had a piece of it or something that was some kind of piece of
It was presented, but I think the cost was like through the roof.
Maybe that's it. I guess I just remember the presenting it. I know this will probably not have any money left to pay for that.
Well, you can always do something like that, but I don't know, by the time you walk that far, you're really tired, you don't want to do any pull-ups. But no, I think, $100,000, lumber's high and metal's high, so but 100%, and I didn't feel like we even have a chance last year when we got a perfect score on it, but there was a lot of communities that got it, so I think we'll come out good this year.
Did some of the stage get redone, or is it still a want? Like the stage
It's gotta be,
short enough?
it's gotta be repaired, yep.
It has been?
Or it still needs to be.
That's something
So
you
some of
could,
that may be too.
yeah. If you think there's money available, you can put that as an addendum, a backup, you know, you get up to 100,000. Anything else? If not, I'll ask for a vote.
Hastings,
Yes.
Pistol,
Yes.
Ward,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
2024-09.
Thank you. Brings down to public comments. Anybody? Animal control left. And it's a long time for people to sit.
This is your opportunity.
My wife's back there. Gia, you want to tell everybody what a good guy I am? Turn off her microphone, make sure. Anyway, I'm going to do better. Thanks everybody for coming. Mayor's comments, I just thank all the departments for their work, and I mean that. Everybody. Appreciate everybody, and Dina trying to keep the money where it needs to be and does that. H&H is off to a good start. Junebug Festival went well. Small turnout, but appreciate the bands that come up there and made a go of it. Archie Fest is coming up. Baptist and Renton the Park July the 13th for that fun day. Remember the Webb family and passing Roy and Tammy. That's tomorrow. And it's good to see Jeff Pistol and Brian Turner on the mend. Sincerely, it's good to see that. So, makes me happy. That's all I got. If nothing else, I'll entertain a motion second to adjourn.
Make a motion, we adjourn. Second.
We stand adjourned. Thank you.